Welcome, friends, to Crazy Women Country, where women's voices matter. We bring you the greatest female voices in the music industry, from the artists, songwriters, and producers, to managers and executives, and all the women who make the music industry what it is today. Thank you for joining us. Welcome, friends, to another episode of Crazy Women Country. Today, we are here with the lovely and talented Ana Cristina Cash. It is a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
So excited. It's been a while. We've been trying to get together and meet up, and so excited, obviously.
Yes, and tech difficulties and all, but we're here. We are here.
That's what makes life interesting.
Yes.
So, not to start you off with the most difficult question ever, but we like to do that first.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
Okay, so tell us, who is Ana Cristina Cash?
Who is Ana Cristina Cash? Well, I am a singer-songwriter. I'm an artist. I'm a mother of two. I'm a wife. I'm a friend. I'm a sister. I'm a daughter. I'm just a human being trying to get through my life like all of us. And, I find a lot of inspiration in writing music. I really do. And I just want to share it with people. And I do love to cook. I like my Peloton bike. I love coffee in the morning. I like hot chocolate with marshmallows and long walks on the beach. So,
I love that.
lots of carbs, lots of pasta. I love pasta. So.
Yes, we would get along great. We're just gonna have to make food together. That's it.
Yeah.
Forget the podcast, forget everything else. Let's just go do food.
Food is my love language. Yes.
Oh, that is so awesome. But it's so a pleasure, like I said, to meet you. So tell us, how did you get started in music? And I mean, there are probably people that don't know who you are, so that's why we try to start at the basics here. So tell us how you got started in music and kind of made your way into the country realm.
Yeah, so I grew up in Miami, Florida. I am bilingual. I speak English and Spanish. My parents are immigrants from Cuba. They migrated to the United States and moved to Florida in the 1960s. So I grew up speaking both languages. I don't know if you've heard of a show called Sábado Gigante. It was on Univision Network for many years. It was the longest running variety show in history. They had a little telephone number at the bottom of the screen. So like when my grandmothers and my parents would watch the show, it was Sábado Gigante, Giant Saturday is what it translates to. So every Saturday they had like a little kids segment on the show, and they had a number that said, if your child is inclined to perform, or if your child wants to be on television, call this number. So I'm like, Mom, you got to call this number. You got to call this number. I want to sing. I always loved to sing. I sang along with movies, and I loved the movie Annie. That was my favorite. So I sang The Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow. And, so I auditioned for Univision, and I became one of those kids that was regularly on the show. So I was either competing in competition with kids, and I was judged, which was kind of scary, but it, kind of gave me guts, I guess. I don't know. It was a great experience, great learning experience. Or I do these little musicals. I would actually record my voice in the studio as an 8-year-old, as a 9-year-old, singing these songs I was given, and we do like these block musicals with several kids. So I really got a chance to see a big television station very early on in my life. Then I realized I started loving to write songs. I loved the recording process. And then in Miami, I was signed by the Latin division of Sony Music when I was 15 years old. I had a friend of my sister's my sister played my music for her, and she said she had an A&R friend at Sony Music. And I was surprised when they signed me to my first deal, and I got to work with many Latin music producers. And to answer your question as to how I got into country music, I listened to country music my whole life. I fell in love with the voice of Leanne Rimes, I thought was just such a star, like, like in the mid to late 90s. And she is a star. She has an amazing voice. I fell in love with her, with artists like Shania Twain, like Faith Hill. And I heard of them in Miami because they sort of like had the country and pop crossover thing going on. But at the same time, I also fell in love with the voice of Patsy Cline. And in Miami, we had a station called 999 Kiss Country that's still operative. And it was my country station. And I just felt like that really resonated with me. Just the lyrics, the songwriting, the honesty, the truth, and these monster vocalists, like both male and female. And I was just like, wow. So I started singing country songs even when I was living in Miami early on. And later on, when I moved to Nashville, of course, 11 years ago, it became something that was very real to me as a career because of my surroundings and living in Nashville, where country music is made. And of course, my husband, John Carter Cash, is a country music producer. He produces everything. And of course, his father is Johnny Cash and his mom, June Carter, and just being surrounded by the Carter family history and the Cash history. And a lot of my early performances were at the Country Music Hall of Fame, like singing those songs and kind of perpetuating that legacy and everything. So it's been a huge education, re-education in the country world. And I thought to myself, sorry if I'm rambling, but hopefully this is all making sense.
It
I
is. It's
thought to
beautiful.
myself, why not combine my love of a lot of music, the flavor, the passion, and just the celebration and the joy that is Latin music with country music and that raw honesty and those putting the vocals at the forefront and having the pedal steel and having the fiddles and like let's just see what happens. So I have several country songs that I've collaborated with writers with and some on my own, launching this new music, launching EP1, EP2, an album. And, I did release my 2020 album, Shine, that had country roots to it, but this is really like a true country pop record. And I have a translation of many of my singles in Spanish or Spanglish as well. So I'm just having fun experimenting. I'm being myself. I try to be as authentic as possible, really.
That is beautiful. And no, you were not rambling. I think that was great. Perfectly segued into this because, that is one of the coolest things with your music is, just if anyone that's listened to your music through the different albums and things like that. I mean, you can go from back the Spanish albums and so and then to the more, like you said, 2020. That was such a great, I mean, your vocals are just, I don't know. I just love listening to your vocals. I'm like, okay, I can just listen and I was just working, listening to you and it's like, oh, this is great. So,
Oh, you're so sweet. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thanks for saying that.
well, it's true. So, we usually only speak truth or crazy here because crazy women, the whole. But I do want to mention recent single, Cheap Margaritas. So tell us a little about that one because that's one that you didn't write. So let everyone know like what that means to you and why you wanted to do it.
The Cheap Margaritas, yes, it's out now. And it's a song that's very meaningful to me because it is very flirtatious and fun and friendly. And I wanted this EP and album not to take itself too seriously. Whereas, I'm very like retrospective in my thinking, very philosophical in a lot of my writing, and a lot of that is beautiful. But I wanted something that was lighthearted and fun. So the writers on this were Willie Breeding, Jessica Kane, Frank Ray, and Erica Ender. And Willie Breeding, who is a co-producer on the record with John Carter Cash, my husband, after I recorded all these songs that I had written either on my own or co-writes with other writers, um, he asked if I would consider cutting Cheap Margarita. So he played it for me. He thought it fit really well with other songs that I have, like Daybreak and Island Queen, which is another song I'm going to release later. And, and it fits so well. And it just had the overall spirit that I was looking for. After COVID and after the insanity that we all went through as a whole, like with the world, it was sad. People went literally crazy. They went crazy in their homes. Like we were isolated from each other. There was an era of sadness. People were getting sick. They were dying. And I said to everybody when I started to work, I want my next record to be happy. I want it to be joyful. I want it to be fun. Like always honoring the quality of the work, at the same time, just making sure it's quality work, but you don't have to sacrifice quality for something fun. You know what I mean? So I just really hope that this record translates that way. And Cheap Margaritas is just so much fun.
Oh, I think it will. I'm excited for it. So definitely looking forward to the rest of the music coming out and for sure. And if you haven't heard it yet, we'll have the links in the description as usual. Go check it out. Go follow Anna's socials. And obviously the website for any touring dates and things like that. I nobody had mentioned that before we got on today. I usually try to mention that before we got on. Any live performance tour dates, anything special coming up
Yes.
this year?
Yeah, so May 21st for Women of Country is doing a showcase at Ansley Blue in Nashville. So I will be performing at that, and I will be performing as a part of the Opry 100 special, again honoring Johnny Cash and June Carter Cash on June the 18th on the Opry, the Grand Ole Opry, which I love so much, and I'm so excited. I did forget to mention that aside from Cheap Margaritas English version, I have a Spanglish version of Cheap Margaritas as well. So it's fun to bounce back and forth and compare the two sometimes. So for those that haven't heard it, I do have two versions of Cheap Margaritas.
And I recommend both because, And if you're anything like me, you love all kinds of music, so both are better, Check him out.
Love it all. Love it all. Thank you.
Oh. So what else is happening? Like any other, obviously all this is just so much going on, right? Anything else awesome for the rest of 2025 happening?
Yes, I'm releasing singles, several singles off of EP1. I'm so excited about. Like I just shot on multicam yesterday with a bunch of cool backdrops, so I have a lot of visuals coming to everybody pretty soon, which I'm very excited about. Like probably this is the most visual record I've done where pretty much every single gets some sort of a visual or a video. So I'm really excited about that to show people kind of, performance videos or story videos of this as well.
Really exciting.
I am going to Japan pretty soon. So I'm really excited. That was my bucket list trip. Super excited about it. I haven't really planned it, but we have the tickets and the flights. And that's just on a personal note, just like a life update.
Oh, that is awesome. I think it's always awesome when you get to travel on those bucket list plans that you've always wanted to go and do.
Yes.
And I've
I'm
heard
so
it's
excited.
beautiful. So
I've got a 3-year-old boy and a 7-year-old daughter, so I'm here's to hoping that they have like TVs on the plane so they could be entertained. Yes.
yes, I can imagine.
Yes.
No. Well, it has been a pleasure having you on, and friends, stay forward for 20 crazy questions. That'll be coming up next. See you soon. Oh, and by the way, you are welcome back anytime you want to come on.
Okay.
If you enjoyed today's episode of Crazy Women Country, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Be sure to click the subscribe button for new interviews weekly. And thank you, friends, for joining us today on Crazy Women Country, where women's voices matter.